based on data available. We want to grow at that rate. Let us see.
Sir, this is Shishir from Hindu Business Line. You have provided 500 crore rupees for one rank one pension scheme. What is the estimated expenditure for full financial year on this kind of scheme, sir?
See, I have gone by data provided by the Ministry of Defence. As I said, much of the gap has been closed in 3 decisions taken in 2006, 2010 and 2013. The last of them was based on a cabinet secretary headed committee. So the gap is really pretty much closed, especially for the 4 ranks that I mentioned: Havildar, Nayak Subedar, Subedar and Subedar Major. The gap is practically closed. The gap is in the next 2 ranks in the OR category and in the ranks of the officers. So the Defence Ministry has estimated that in 2014-15, apart from the usual money provided for salary, pensions, etc., we may require another 500 crore. Now, if they had asked me for another 1,000 crore, I would have provided the 1,000 crore rupees. They said, we think it will be about 500 crore. So I said, fine, we'll provide you 500 crore. But let me make it very clear. That decision has been made. It is now OROP, one rank, one pension. If that requires in 2014-15 a little more than 500 crore, that money will be found or will be provided. And please also remember that in the defence budget, we have given a 10% increase from 2,03,672 crore to 2,24,000 crore. Money is fungible. So if they require money, they will go into their full budget. But this 500 crore is an addition. But enough money has been provided. I think in any event, enough money will be provided so that OROP is implemented in 2014-15.
Yes, sir. Sir, Akanksha Sethi from CNBC. Sir, at several occasions in the past, you've said that the fiscal stimulus given to industry during the crisis wasn't required, yet today excise duty has been decreased, and this comes at a time when expenditure, if you discount for inflation, is actually going to see flat growth in the next fiscal, and also the subsidy on account of the hike in the gas price from KG Basin is not reflecting in the power and fertilizer subsidy. And at that time you said it'd be worked out, but one hasn't seen the government commit to anything on that, and again today in the budget numbers you don't see that reflected.
Well, I don't know what the question is. You've just made a number of statements.
No, sir,
but let's...
My question is that why has the excise duty been reduced
I'll
despite the fact that...
You cannot compare the excise duty reductions announced by me today with the stimulus packages. Both had different purposes. The stimulus package was to ensure that the turbulence in the world economy does not affect India, and that our growth rate is anchored at around 7 or 8%. That was a large stimulus package, what the US calls unconventional monetary policy. We therefore decided to spend money. We borrowed money and spent money. That was that stimulus package. Today what we are saying is, these are specific sectors of industry which are experiencing difficulty. Growth is very sluggish. You have to pay us this tax. All right. We give you a concession in the tax. Pay us a little less, but hopefully you can sell more. We are not borrowing and spending. We are simply saying we will take from you less tax in the hope that volumes will make up for the reduction in tax rates. So I don't think the 2 packages are comparable. Qualitatively, they're not comparable. In terms of size of the package, they're not comparable. I'm talking about losing 300 to 400 crores in 40 days, and in April and May, perhaps we will lose about 700 to 800 crore. But as I said, much of that can be made up if there is even a 5% increase in sales. So I don't think the two are comparable.
Mr. Krishnan from Bloomberg News. In your speech, you've listed out 10 points that the government of day should focus on. Point number 3, you talk about how a developing economy and an economy like India, where we are aiming for high growth, you will have a moderate level of inflation. And there seems to be a piece of advice to the RBI to strike a balance between growth and inflation. Is there a contradiction in their stand right now?
None whatsoever. In the US, the mandate to the Federal Reserve is price stability and employment. In many European countries, the mandate is price stability and employment. In many developing countries, the mandate is price stability and growth. The RBI is an autonomous monetary authority, but ultimately the direction in which a country must go and the pace at which the country must grow are determined by an elected government. We have the RBI Act, which talks about monetary stability. Monetary stability is impacted both by price stability and by low or high growth. Therefore, we have said, from a developing country's point of view, the policy should be to strike a balance between price stability and growth. In fact, I can cite you passages of Governor RBI statement where he also emphasizes that while price stability is a foremost objective, the RBI cannot be oblivious to the needs of growth. There is no contradiction. We have said nothing different. We have simply articulated it more forcefully on an appropriate occasion.
Yes, please.
Mr. Chidambaram, Rajiv Sharma, right for first post. If you were to describe this interim budget 2014-15 in one word, what will it be? I will suggest, I can give you 3 suggestions: pragmatic, populist, please all. And also, if you could give a figure, a ballpark figure, how many people will be benefiting from OROP? Thank you.
Your question is populist, and you expect a populist answer. My intention is not to please anyone. My intention was to speak plainly to the people of India and tell them that these are turbulent years. We are navigating through a turbulent period. We have done a lot in the last 21 months to stabilize India's economy. And we believe that we have achieved a fair measure of success as we see Q1 growth at 4.4 become Q2 growth of 4.8, promising to become 5.2 in Q3 and Q4. And therefore, in one word, what this budget says is, it sends out a clear signal of hope to the people of India that things will be better.
The number of people benefiting from
OROP. Well, I don't know. Everybody in the defense services will be benefited because this is from the lowest rank to the highest rank.